Okay. So some of you are calling in something that you have maybe been expecting coming. Okay. There's something here that you are calling in. There's something that feels like a big shift that's coming in for this new moon. Okay. Some of you, this is a higher level understanding about something from the past, which is freeing you so you can move forward. It feels like a miracle, and it feels like a sweet, I heard sweet release and a miracle. Okay. What is this related to for my collective at this time? Yeah, there's something, damn. Okay, for a lot of you, this is more a message about self, but we are going to get a message about a specific person. Okay. I feel like this is a collective that has been manifesting a major glow up, a major change, a major transformation, spiritual transformation. And you've been in the midst of the spiritual transformation for some time. And you've been seeing some of those changes in terms of the way you feel, but you haven't necessarily seen that translate in terms of your life or in terms of being able to actually break cycles for good and move forward. It's like, you have evolved beyond something here, but you still felt connected to it for a long time. Okay. But I feel that this is a collective that now feels really brave enough and courageous enough to finally let go of something that they have evolved beyond. And it comes through a miracle, which feels like an opportunity for forgiveness, understanding, and release. Okay. And this frees you to be able to experience a new cycle of divine love, which feels holy, which feels like the truest love that you've ever experienced. But this starts by being able to feel that and connect to that with self. Okay. Love you, Stevie. So currently your highest energy at this time is being able to recognize that you are ready. You are ready to let go of anything in your life that was creating a conflict. But I feel like for a long time, it was difficult for you to do so. There was an opportunity in front of you, but it's like you weren't taking the reins. And this feels now like you stepping into this position of power and doing something to make yourself really proud. Like you're really proud of yourself. You're saying like hell no to something. There's something where you're like, absolutely not. Hell no. I'm letting go. I'm walking away. Spirit, take the wheel. I'm moving. I'm moving ahead of this. Like I'm letting this be a part of my past. I am accessing a new timeline. This feels powerful. But it's taken you a long time to get to this hell no. For a long time, I feel like you were at the precipice of this change. Maybe you weren't ready to confront this, is what I heard. You weren't ready to confront this. There was something where it felt like you had to confront not necessarily this person, but maybe yourself. Damn, this is powerful already. But again, it feels like this is a collective that is ready to fully feel this power, embody this power. How does this collective know this is their message? Here's the thing about you. You've spent a lot of your life experiencing really intense journeys, relationships. It feels like for you, it's like you've gone to like the depths of despair. It's like you experience everything almost like in an exaggerated sense. I almost feel like your life has been like a lot of high highs, but a lot of really low lows. And it feels like that was necessary in order for you to go through this process of awakening and healing. And I feel like you're now ready again to be able to take this opportunity, to be able to shift out of these cycles in which, again, you felt like you were experiencing a lot of intensity, but maybe no stability, to be able to move forward towards relationships that feel more stable, more harmonious, more balanced. Okay? But yeah, this is a moment of self-reflection. This is a moment of self-reflection. Where was this collective before this? I feel for many of you, you weren't being honest with yourself or maybe with a past partner or past people. You were afraid to speak up for yourself, or you were afraid to communicate openly or honestly. You thought what you had to say was too much, or maybe you stifled yourself. You repressed yourself. You didn't allow yourself to be your first priority in relationships. Be able to keep the peace with other people. So you would basically suppress your truth or your inner voice because you wanted people to stay in your life. But I feel like you've realized that if you have to silence yourself to keep people in your life, those are not the right people to keep in your life. Damn. That's what this new moon is. You're no longer silencing yourself. You're no longer pleasing other people. Yeah, at the cost of your own sanity or your own relationship with yourself. Okay? So what is coming through on the other side of this new moon energy here? Your guardian angels are working with you to manifest the relationship you actually deserve. I feel like many of you have already learned these lessons. Now it's a matter of putting these lessons into practice. Okay? Putting these lessons into practice. And it feels like how you put these lessons into practice now this is me reading y'all a little bit, is recognize that you don't have to fight so hard for the love that is yours, right? You don't have to push so hard for something that's meant to be in your life. For many of you, you identified too closely with struggle. Because of your upbringing, you felt like life was just struggle. You're always meant to struggle. It was always meant to be difficult. It's always meant to be hard. You're always meant to push. Things were always meant to be difficult in order for you to succeed, in order for you to win, in order for you to be loved. Like it had to be a struggle. And it feels like the lesson moving forward is that love that is meant to be in your life will not be a struggle. It will be easy. The energy will flow. But you were taught to live this way. You were taught to fight, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be appreciated, to be chosen. But now that you're choosing yourself, you're realizing that it can just be that easy. It can just be that easy. Okay? So what is this collective manifesting on the other side of this new moon? Damn. So you're going to see things as they actually are. And you have been patient with yourself at some points, but other points impatient. I feel like you're now ready, though, to release this old version of self that was holding you back and discover something brand new. It feels like a shift into a completely different identity. And I feel for many of you, you're about to attract in a relationship that aligns with where you are now on the path. And you're about to see love through brand new eyes. I feel for many of you, and I say this lovingly, you haven't necessarily experienced true love. You've experienced a lot of painful lessons, but you've never experienced love in action, love in essence, love in effort, love in consistency. You've experienced a lot of maybe passion, desire, infatuation, limerence, but not a love that stayed. But it feels like you have shifted the paradigm here. You've shifted the paradigm here. And it feels like this next partner that is coming forward for most of you in the month of June could also be a Gemini. You could be a Gemini. That's a strong confirmation. Okay. This is somebody who is healed. And this is somebody who's going to help you experience love in an entirely new light. Okay. Damn. What do we need to know about this new partner? Yeah, this is somebody who helps you move forward. I think another lesson this collective has learned is that a love that is aligned, a love that is seeking the same thing that you're seeking, a love that is on the same page, is not a love that'll make you wait. Do you know those like toxic messages that sometimes comes across your FYP, or like when you're on another app and it's like, real love waits by the window for years, for decades. Real love is a love of patience and allowing your good years to go out the window while someone else does whatever they want until they meet you one day. And I feel like this is a collective that's like, hell no. Hell no. I need a love that is clear and intentional, okay? A love that honors me. This is a collective that honors their partner. I feel like most of you, you honor your partner. You're very devoted to your partner. You want to give all of your love. You're not someone who wants a casual relationship. You don't want ambiguity, right? You want to be able to give all of yourself to someone without fear of being taken advantage of or your love being taken for granted, okay? You want a love that meets you where you are. And you want a love that nurtures you. Because, baby, you are a lot, okay? You are a lot, but that's not a bad thing. I think some of you need to shift this paradigm outside of like, am I too much or not enough? Those aren't the options. Like being too much or not enough is not the option. You are a lot, and that's a good thing. Like you are a lot of good stuff, okay? You offer a lot of love, okay? You offer a lot of compassion, okay? You have a lot of beauty, a lot of booty, okay? You have a lot of good things. It's not too much or not enough. I don't know where we decided to adopt this false narrative and paradigm that you either are too much or not enough. No, you are a lot of all of the best things. And the right person is going to pour all of that back into you abundantly and like ravenously. Like they will be honored by the privilege of being able to reinforce that they can see you, that they value you, that you are worthy. Okay? Damn. Ravenous. They will want all of you and more. Some of you, strawberries are significant. Okay? That could be your favorite fruit. Some of you just recently listened to Beyonce. Okay. But listen to the song. Listen to the song. I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. Some of you had chills during this reading, okay? But this is somebody who you are attracting in who's going to, again, see you and be loyal to you and be dedicated to you. There are still that many good men, women, gender non-binary people out there. I promise. You are a testament to it because your soul will mirror another. Your soul will mirror your true love now that you are healed. Okay? So final advice here for this collective and moving forward. What are they needing to know? Be confident that it is possible to move forward, to be able to have better outcomes. For many of you, again, it's like the struggle that you're feeling is not that you're not over the past. The struggle that you're feeling is that you know you've gone through this transformation, but maybe you haven't yet reaped the rewards. Okay? And there's still some limitations here, some fears that hold you back. It feels like this conflict is maybe clinging to this old comfort zone again of like choosing partners that you feel like maybe wouldn't be able to offer you everything that you deserve, but there's a part of you that's like, well, they need to be loved or they need something from me. And you knew that you could demonstrate that to them and maybe you would keep them. But at what cost? Okay? I feel like this is a collective that is really ready to release themselves from all of those limiting mindsets and belief systems, to fully shift out of this past energy, to fully move out of this avoidant energy into a place in which you are transcending any need for anything from the past. And the miracle here is that you are finding forgiveness in your heart for the people that wronged you. Because yes, maybe they needed that love from you, but now you realize you need that love from you more. So you are forgiving energies of the past without getting anything from them, truthfully. And I feel like that's the way it's meant to be. Because when we can only forgive when we get something from someone else, it's not sustainable. If you need that external validation to forgive or to accept or to gain closure, it's not sustainable. The only sustainable closure comes from within. I feel for many of you, you are gaining a level of closure. Okay? No revenge. Because that was the relationship you were meant to experience in order for you to transcend those old identities that needed to prove yourself to others or perform or earn the love of others. Okay? You are choosing yourself. You are choosing yourself. And you are doing so by not allowing yourself to stay stuck in any relationship that creates confusion. Okay? And I feel like a lot of the confusion was, does this person see me? Do they value me? There's some relationship here that's still coming through in your energy, but I feel like this is a collective that has already moved beyond this. Okay? So we're not going to reference this too much. Okay? Final advice for this collective moving forward. Damn. Know that you are creating a foundation that is not just for a moment or a minute or a weekend or for a new moon period. This is for the rest of your life, and not try to put too much pressure on you. Okay? But you have been really hard on yourself because maybe you feel like you didn't learn enough, or maybe you feel like you didn't grow fast enough, or maybe you feel like you didn't get to where you want to get to at this time, and you are wishing you were a different place. It's because you weren't just shifting a self-concept or healing wounds that were just relative to love or that relationship. This was you creating an entirely new energetic foundation for your life. This was you rewiring yourself so you could create the foundation that you deserve, so you could grow, so you could evolve, so you could be wise enough where you could actually teach this to others. Okay? So be compassionate with yourself. The timing in which this took was divine timing. This was exactly the journey that you were meant to walk. Okay? And most of you on this new moon tomorrow, new moon in Gemini, strong confirmation if you're a Gemini, you will receive a dream state message, a message in the astral, or some type of intuitive message that is encouraging you to take action towards a new path in love. And if you do so, you will be rewarded, okay? Take charge with authority. You have received all the information you need to receive. Now you just need to trust your instincts, okay? I hope that message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 1111 down below to let me know.